Is After Dark compatible for Windows 10? I have been looking all over to figure out whether or not After Dark is compatible for Windows 10, but I can't find any information. If possible, I would like it to have all the modules like they were in the original or similar to them. Update: I got some info here and mounted the ISO, but the installer in the AUDE folder has this error. Couldn't read information about setup file number 7 and setup package overall from setup the file data. How can I fix this?
Apparently here, according to this person on Reddit who seems to believe it's working on their Windows 10 environment. According to this post, a lot of old screensavers do still work in Windows the 8th of January 10, so I guess it's worth a shot. I downloaded it, extracted it with 7-zip, mounted the ISO within, ran the setup file in AID with Windows 95 compatibility, threw one error message but skipped it without a problem. It seems to work fine. The drop-down box shows the wrong name, but otherwise it runs. See screenshots below. Settings page doesn't seem to work, so I'm not sure if there's any way to modify whatever settings it has. Past that, you can change what screensaver it uses by going into c:/afterdark/afterdark for .0. By default it's using Flying Toasters. .add. Rename that to file to something else, Flying Toasters. .add.old perhaps, and rename any other file in here to Flying Toasters. .add. It's a hack, but it's also just a screensaver. I don't really want it anymore, so I'll leave it to you to tinker with that if you so wish.
I was able to install After Dark in Windows 10 as shown in the other answers, running AID setup.exe using Windows 95 compatibility. The problem I am having is that the default screensaver seems to be Starry Night, or some other star field screensaver. Starry Night.add is found in the C column or After Dark folder. I tried copying Flying Toasters .add to this location and renaming it Starry Night.add, however this didn't work. I also placed the renamed file in C column or After Dark 4.0 folder. Running the screensaver still shows Starry Night, and a message along the top of screen that says unable to load selected module, C, After Dark 4.0 Flying Toasters .add. I'll keep tinkering with it when I have time, and a few minutes later I fixed it. There is a needed file that fails to install. Locate adxpf510.dll in the installation folder, AID of files add 40. Copy this file to the same folder as afterdark.scr. Mine was in C column or Windows for syswow 64. Now the screensaver can locate the module C column After Dark 4.0 Flying Toasters .add.
I was able to make sense of the preferences by installing add on Windows XP and looking in regedit. Mute all sounds. Under hkey_current_user /software/Berkeley Systems /After Dark add a reg_d word mute sound with data 1. Change module. Under hkey_current_user /software/Berkeley Systems /After Dark /folders change the data of After Dark 4.0 to the name of the module you want, no .add extension.
After Dark 4.0 screensavers work just fine on Windows 10 or Windows 11 too actually. However, the older screensavers, After Dark Classic or 3.0, do not. The reason for the difference is that After Dark 4.0 screensavers are 32-bit and the earlier ones are 16-bit. Microsoft has disabled 16-bit support by default pretty much since Windows 7. Running After Dark 4.0 on Windows 10 or 11 without installing. Copy the engine folder from the installer to your computer. Place the add 40 After Dark 4.0 folder inside the engine folder on your computer. Add the path to the engine folder to the registry. Add the path to the After Dark 4.0 screensavers to the registry. Note, this path is assumed to have the path from step 3 above added to the front of it. Tell After Dark which screensaver to use. This can be any .add file in the After Dark 4.0 folder. Run the screensaver by double-clicking the afterdark.scr file. Or install the screensaver by right-clicking on it and selecting Install. Related note.scr files are actually .exe files. So, if for some odd reason you need an .exe to run After Dark, just rename afterdark.scr to afterdark.exe and run it with the option /s. That will behave exactly the same as double-clicking the .scr file. As Atrojasirosha's excellent answer points out, there are also additional control options for each screensaver. Running all of After Dark on a VM. While Windows 10 or 11 cannot natively run older After Dark screensavers without basically unsupported hacks, they can run them just fine in a VM. After Dark 4.0 came out in 1996. So, Windows 95 is able to run all of After Dark including the classic ones, and it turns out that these days Windows 95 will even run in your browser. That's right, After Dark on your cell phone web browser is completely possible. Until someone gets around to putting the Windows 95 VM with After Dark online, hopefully somewhere like archive.org, my recommendation is to use this cross-platform Windows 95 VM and follow their instructions to install additional software, aka your copy of After Dark. Or if you need better speed, this less user-friendly Windows 95 install on DOSBox works great. Lunatic Fringe. At least for me, Lunatic Fringe was the only screensaver I could not get to properly function even in the Windows 95 VM. However, it turns out that there is a project to turn Lunatic Fringe into a browser game. Enjoy playing it.